I was clinically dead for 6 minutes. I saw what's waiting for us. In 2003, at 15, my heart abruptly stopped for 6 full minutes while walking home from school. It wasn't dramatic. I just felt sick, got dizzy, and fell onto the pavement. Later, I learned it was ventricular fibrillation, a sudden deadly quirk of biology. Technically, I died right there on the street. The paramedics restarted my heart in the ambulance, but in those 6 minutes, my consciousness went somewhere else, and it wasn't what we'd been told. At first, there was only white light, warm and peaceful. I rose upward effortlessly, feeling like I'd been chosen, invited to something greater. I was wrong. I arrived in a place beyond human comprehension. No streets of gold, no pearly gates, just emptiness. Figures surrounded me, beings I initially mistook for angels. They circled without speaking, powerful and terrifyingly indifferent. I reached out, hoping for comfort, but instead, invisible chains seized me. They bound me, drained me of will. A realization filled me, raw and devastating. These beings weren't protectors or guides, they were collectors. Humanity, they explained wordlessly, is merely livestock, born and bred in a carefully tuned universe, crafted solely to produce conscious souls. We exist only to mature spiritually before being harvested, our consciousness stripped bare and enslaved in a dimension beyond time. The beings toyed with my anguish, delighting in my despair. My pain amused them, a cruel entertainment. Then, sensing my time was not finished, they issued a chilling warning. Speak of this truth, and my afterlife torment would intensify beyond imagination. I awoke back on Earth, gasping in the ambulance, sobbing uncontrollably. For years, I shared my story desperately, only to be met with pity or disbelief. Doctors labeled it trauma-induced psychosis. Grief counselors gently dismissed it as a death dream. Eventually, exhausted, I convinced myself they were right. Until a few years later, I attended a book signing by a famous author, claiming a loving encounter with God during his own near-death experience. Privately, I confronted him, desperate to know if he'd lied. The moment I mentioned slavery, his eyes changed. His practiced smile cracked, fear briefly surfacing before he regained composure. He knew.